Welcome back, guys. I think I actually tried to record a video on this topic once before and ended up not liking what I did, so gonna give it another shot here based on a question that somebody asked about, do company drivers get to pick the truck that they want, and most specifically, do they get to pick what type of truck they want? So I thought I would kind of go back over, and the original topic was somebody asked me what kind of trucks Prime has. So I did a video on that, but I'm going to kind of combine what type of truck Prime has, what type they offer, and then combine it with how does it work for picking out what truck you get, and do you get to select what truck you have. And I'm going to combine that company and lease driver. So this is about what truck you have. And I think probably the number one thing I want to stress in this is, as long as your truck drives down the road, it's a safe vehicle, it doesn't really matter. It's a lot about creature comforts. Do you like this brand, make, model? Yeah, we all want to have the nicest truck on the road. We all want it to have the features that we like, but end of the day, if you have a make X and it's in the shop every 2 weeks, that doesn't do you any good. Whereas make Y maybe, you know, is a more reliable vehicle. And it might have nothing to do with the brand, the make, the model. It might have nothing to do with that. It might just be it might be a lemon. But on the topic, Prime currently runs 3 makes of semi-trucks. On the lightweight side, they have Freightliners and Internationals. On the full-size side, they have Freightliners and Peterbilts. They are testing currently full-size. I think they have around 20 full-size Volvos, which, as long as I've been here, Prime has not had Volvos. I think they had some before. But Prime does have a handful of Volvos that are going through testing. And the reason that things changed, when I started here, Prime had Kenworths, and Prime does not currently offer Kenworths. The reason that changes is Prime goes through a contract period, and I believe it's a couple of year contract where, you know, they go to each manufacturer and they say, we're going to purchase X number of vehicles, and on a per year basis, and they get a price. They get a discount by buying in bulk, as you do when you go to Sam's Club or Costco or whatever, and then they supply for that time period. So Prime is in the process of renewing some of their contracts and exploring additional options. So that's why they're looking at the Volvos. Like I said, there's 20 of them currently. They may end up deciding that they want to switch from Peterbilt to Volvo, and then, you know, by the time this video is a year old, you'll say, well, you said you had Peterbilts and you don't have Peterbilts anymore. Which, again, you know, if I would have done this video 3 years ago when I started, I would have said Prime offers Freightliners, Peterbilts, and Kenworths, and Prime no longer has Kenworth full-size trucks. I also would have said 3 years ago that Prime offers, on the lightweight side, Freightliners, Internationals, and Peterbilts, and we don't offer lightweight Peterbilts anymore. So things change. So that out of the way, that's what Prime offers. I'm going to put a link down in the description. It is to Success Leasing. And if you're interested in this video for company drivers, you're still going to want to take a look at the Success Leasing website, because Success Leasing owns every single truck that Prime drives. The leased trucks, the outside of the owner-operators, the people who are actually buying their trucks or own their trucks, but they own all of the trucks. The company trucks and the lease trucks are owned by Success Leasing, which it's a subsidiary of Prime, but they're titled to Success Leasing until, if you do a lease purchase or if you purchase one directly from, and that's another story altogether. Part of Success Leasing is Pedigree Truck Sales, but Success Leasing owns all of the trucks that Prime runs, company and lease trucks. So I'm going to put their website in the description, because the inventory for current trucks available for lease is part of that website. Now, if you're coming to Prime, one thing I'm going to tell you, and especially on the lease side, don't look at that website and say, that's the truck I want. There's a white Freightliner. It's a 2018. It's got 60,000 miles on it. I'm going to start training. I'm going to start my orientation in 2 weeks. I'm going to get my CDL. I'm going to go through TNT, and then that's the truck that I'm going to lease. That truck is going to be gone. That truck is probably going to be gone. I'm recording this on a Saturday. That particular white Freightliner, and I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if that truck exists. It's probably going to be gone by next Monday or Tuesday. The turnover, if you follow that page on a regular basis, that turnover is unbelievably quick, especially on the reefer side. The turnover is daily. Flatbed and tanker, a little less, but even still, at least weekly, those trucks, they appear and they're gone, because we have guys coming in basically every day to upgrade, or new hires who are getting their own truck, and as soon as they're on there, they get to pick a truck and they get to leave. So that comes back to, well, how do you get a truck? So trucks are always turned in, whether it's by company drivers, whether it's by lease operators who are fired, who are release, move on to other companies, whatever it is. However they turn it, whether they're getting a different truck. You know, some people turn in a lease truck early, and as something that I did. And then that particular truck becomes available for lease once again, and that's how they end up on that page. So, let's start with the company driver. Do you get to pick what kind of truck you have as a company driver? And this is the answer that I gave to the person who asked. The short answer is no. It depends basically on when you upgrade, who your person is that you're dealing with at Success. They may just hand you a set of keys and say, there's your truck. Now, obviously, if there's anything mechanically wrong with it, Prime is going to take care of it. If it's so mechanically wrong that, you know, it's going to need days, weeks, months in the shop to fix what's wrong with it, they're going to find you a different truck. But for the most part, you're going to hand into the shop in Springfield, this is what's wrong with my truck. They're going to fix it, and you're going to drive out the door with that truck as a new company driver. If you're lucky, maybe they've got a list of 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks. If you've got your heart set on a full-size Peterbilt, and there is not a full-size Peterbilt on that list, that's too bad. They're not going to let you wait until a full-size Peterbilt is available. You pick from what is on that list, or like I said, they hand you a set of keys. It depends on, and it all depends on which person you're dealing with. But it could be 5 lightweight Freightliners on that list. It could be 2 lightweight Internationals, a lightweight Freightliner, and a full-size Freightliner. I have no idea, because similar to the list on the lease side, inventory changes literally on a daily basis, because you've got people turning in trucks and new people picking up trucks and taking them out. When you're a company driver, you have no idea when you're going to get a call or a message from your fleet manager that says, we need your truck brought back in, and we're going to give you a new truck. That's part of what being a company driver is not having as much control over the truck that you drive. And you can let your fleet manager know, hey, I understand my truck's getting up there in mileage. I'm probably going to be reassigned to a new truck. I'd like to have a full-size Peterbilt. I just throw a Peterbilt out there because there aren't a lot of them, and people tend to seem to want full-size Peterbilts. You may want something different. You may want a lightweight International, and that's what I wanted, which brings us to the lease side. When I went into lease, I believe there were 4 of us on the tanker side who were picking up trucks to lease. There were 5 tanker trucks available. 2 of them were full-size tanker trucks, and 2 of them were lightweights, which were what we use, or sorry, 3 of them were full-size, 2 of them were lightweight. So I had an option of 2 lightweight trucks. They were both Freightliners. I wanted an International. At that point, as a lease operator, I had the choice. I could take one of the 2 lightweight trucks that was available, do the same thing. They make right anything that's wrong with the truck, and I move on with my life. Or I have the option, and I could sit in Springfield and wait until a Lightweight International became available. When you're sitting and not driving, you're not making money. So you're more than welcome to do that, but they're not going to keep paying you that guarantee if you decide, and it's all because you said you don't want what's available. So if you want that full-size Peterbilt, you could sit there for several weeks because you're waiting for someone who has a full-size Peterbilt to quit, get fired, whatever the case may be, have them bring that truck back in. They're going to have to detail that truck. They're going to have to check it over, make sure that everything's correct with the truck. And then you're going to do your own inspection on the truck. So it may be several weeks before you find that one. And especially, heaven forbid you want a red full-size Peterbilt that's set up for tanker. You could be waiting months for exactly what you want. Your other option as a lease operator is you lease whatever's available for you for 3 months, and then you can order your own truck. You can order exactly what you want. Now, there is a waiting period for ordering a truck because you can't just order something and it instantly shows up. You order something, they place the order with the factory, and it takes some time and it gets there. There's a waiting period, I believe, for Peterbilts that's upwards of 6 months before it becomes, it gets done. But that's how it works. Like I said, there's a lot less control on the company side. You are going to drive off the lot in a truck. You don't get the choice to sit and wait if it's not the color you like, if it's not the make or model that you like. That's the consequence of being a company driver. As a lease operator, you want to sit and wait, you're more than welcome to sit and wait. Just realize you're not going to get paid while you sit and wait for what you want to become available. Hope you found this interesting. It's very similar between the two when you really stop and think about it. Is you get what's on the lot, because Prime doesn't want a new driver to come in and say, well, I'm going to order a brand new truck, and then they're gone a week later and end up with tons of trucks just sitting there they'll have to dispose of some one way or another. So you get, as a new employee or as a new contractor, you get what's available. So that's how it works. That's how you get a truck when you are first starting out with Prime. And I hope you find it interesting. If you are interested in coming to Prime, of course, I'll put that link down in the description that I usually have. It takes you right to the application. You don't have to go searching for it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time.